my Nerf modified Firestrike. So I'll go with the modifications, go with the paint job, and then show you firing. So first thing I first did is I removed the spring and replaced it with a 7.5 kilogram spring. And obviously I upgraded the catch spring to account for the heavier spring load. Then I removed the air restrictor and brassed the barrel. This is what this thing is. I used 17-30 seconds brass and just sanded out the inside of the barrel with the manual fire. Apart from that, I didn't actually modify the gun any further than that. However, I did have to fix the laser component of the gun because it was not working when I purchased it. There was electrical contacts that were a bit screwed, but that wasn't actually modifying it. That was just fixing a already defective product. I'll go over the paint job. I started with a Squirts paint and prime. Then for the details, I used a acrylic green part green. Then I finished it off with 2 coats of Dulux matte clear coat. If this looks familiar, this is the same paint job I did on my Fortnite SMGE. However, I'm so happy with the paint job. It looks really nice, and I paid $5 for this Nerf gun, and I'm not going to buy more paint for it. Just want to note, I did mask up all the grey parts that you see here. I masked up this whole thing and then painted it all over again. I left the orange parts unpainted so it kind of looks more like a Nerf gun and not just a painted gun, because all Nerf guns, no matter their paint job, they still have orange in there. It's feel like it's just a neutral colour. I would like to note that the trigger is a little bit tighter now because of how the way this Nerf gun works. The trigger has in direct contact with the catch, and since I replaced the catch spring that's a bit tighter now, the trigger feels a little bit tighter to pull. I also painted the inside of the Nerf gun because you don't insert a magazine in this Nerf gun. With the upgraded spring, the draw weight is very heavy, and since there's no air restrictor in it anymore, you cannot dry fire this blaster without damaging it. A dry fire is obviously when you don't have a dart in the chamber and you pull the trigger, and since there's no air restrictor, the plunger tube will smack the front of the plunger tube and break. Yes, it might not break completely on the first try, but if you do it enough times, it will break. Obviously, the laser does work now, but I don't really have any way to show that to you. The only thing that laser is actually representing is where the dart's not going to go. I'd just like to talk about the actual thing of the brass barrel here. This gun I have 2 types of darts I use, elite darts and Econ waffle head darts. Econ waffle head darts do not work in this gun because I have a tip, the head of the dart is longer, is more wide than the elite dart and the actual foam. So therefore it gets stuck in the barrel and you can't actually push it all in the way. And with the brass, this gun, if you do the same modifications, I say yeah, go for it. It will have complete performance, it will have dependence. The performance that you get will be dependent on a few factors just related to you. A, your Nerf gun, your humidity in your room. I live in Australia and it's been quite humid recently, so the darts will swell up a little bit. That means it will have a bit more of a tighter air fit. That can be either good or bad depending on your spring capacity. And I like to note that it will also be dependent on how old your darts are. I haven't used my elite darts in a while, and I had to go through my bucket and just find a few that were really new so they actually work well. I will get some shots out of this thing if it's absolutely powerful, and then some that don't have very good air fit don't shoot as much. Anyway, this is still shooting so much harder than a stock Firestrike. But I would like to note that if you do these modifications for yourself, you will probably get very different results to what I get, unless you have the same humidity as me, same dart mixture, And this gun isn't really designed to shoot elite darts. Just for a reminder, this is an elite dart, but it's not really designed to shoot elite darts because an elite dart, when you shoot it at this velocity, kind of just spirals off out of control. You shouldn't really use these, but I don't have any better darts performance based to better represent the power of this gun. Anyway, I'll show you it firing. All in all, it's shooting really damn hard. This isn't a gun that you would run as a primary if you were to actually use it in an Nerf war. This is something that you leave with a dart in the chamber where you can just pull out and laser and absolutely shoot someone pretty hard. I'm very happy with the performance on this gun. However, I would like to gripe about the paint job for a sec. This is what's considered a Firestrike Elite, so it's actually orange underneath the paint job. However, this is a non-elite Firestrike, and I'm just a bit upset on how similar the paint jobs are. Obviously, they're not the same, but I'm just a bit of ashamed that this paint job looks so similar to this one. Obviously, there's a few differences, but I only realised that after I'd done my regular blue coat. However, I'm still very happy with the performance and how it looks. And all I say is, if you were to do this modification for yourself, don't use this indoors shooting at people. This is too powerful to use shooting at indoors at someone. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.